And here we go, yet another practice officially in the books for the Denver Broncos, another padded one, so we get to learn a lot more about the news, the notes, the highlights, the observations from not only the quarterback battle with Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix, but we also got to learn a lot more about just who's starting in what positions, who's starting to look good, who's breaking out, and we're going to learn about it all in this video. But before we jump into the news, notes, highlights, and observations, I need you guys to do me a big favor and go give a follow to all of the Broncos media members out there because, guys, one, they work so hard. Two, without them, these videos are not possible. And three, I guarantee you, if you follow them right now, you will be happy. You will not regret it. They do such a good job of getting highlights out, getting analysis out, getting, notes and observations out from every single practice. So go follow them. You're going to see 3 ats at the top left of your screen. Go follow them on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video a little bit. So obviously with today being another day, it's another day where the rotation with the QB continues to go. So yesterday was Bo Nix. The day before yesterday was Jarrett Stidham. Now, in the normal QB rotation, today should have been Zach Wilson, right? But instead, it was actually Jarrett Stidham, which kind of tells me that potentially, now again, this is just me assuming, okay? So don't read into it too much. Take it with a grain of salt. This is me assuming that maybe Zach Wilson is out of the running for the starting job, and it's either Jarrett Stidham or Bo Nix. It could be that, or Jarrett Stidham just looks like the best quarterback so far, so they wanted him to start off today's practice. So you let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. But Sean Payton denied a change, but wouldn't commit if Zach Wilson would get any times of the one moving forward. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens in the next few practices. Now, Nick Bonito did miss practice today with the back injury. They expect him to be okay. John Franklin Myers was also out of practice today, an excused absence. I believe he had a death in the family, so hopefully everything's okay with him. Prayer emojis in the comment section, man. But in terms of practice, this was a intense one with the defense. The defense was everywhere at once. There were so many balls swatted down at the line of scrimmage, which is definitely not something you love to see. But man, all 3 quarterbacks struggled getting the ball over these guys. I mean, they are big alongside that defensive line. We talked about it in yesterday's video. This Broncos team is a little bit different in terms of just the size, the athleticism, and their ability to jump up and make big-time plays, right? Not only do you have Zach Allen and DJ Jones and John Franklin Myers, who wasn't there today, but you also have depth as well with Matt Henningsen and Malcolm Roach and Nick Bonito, Baron Browning, Jonathan Cooper. They have guys, all right? So, hey, don't be surprised if you see a lot of swatted balls this year for the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton also said, listen, we got a plan with the quarterback room. We got a plan with the QB rotation. Yesterday, again, like I said, they were on Bo. Today was Stiddy. I don't really know. I just want to talk about it one more time because it's really weird, because why would you just stop the rotation there? Because today would be Zach Wilson's day. All right, let me just stop talking about that because it's not that important. I just really want to know what they're trying to say or what they're trying to show us, maybe. I don't know. Do you guys think Zach Wilson's out the running? But in terms of the update, Jarrett Stidham was once again the best quarterback. Consistent, great decision-making, going through his progressions, getting the football out in time, but also being conservative when need be, right? Taking those calculated risks every once in a while, but understanding when is the right time to take that, calculated risk depending on what the defense is giving you. And I feel like Jarrett Stidham's just been so good. Had 2 completions today, both for 15+ yards. And Bo Nix once again was really good in terms of getting outside the pocket, extending plays on his feet, and making things happen, right? The speed is something that is really showcased in terms of Bo Nix. And he struggled to get the ball down the field, but, if it's an underneath route, if it's a dig or a quick out or a slant, he's able to throw those ones. But down the field, I think he's not as confident as he should be yet. Now, before we get any further into today's video, there was a big fight. We'll talk about that in a second. Make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering the Broncos throughout the entirety of the offseason, which includes all of training camp, every practice, plus more preseason football games, live streaming those on my Twitch. You'll find the link in the description below, but also breaking down the film on this channel. For preseason games, regular season games, all year long, we got you guys covered, so join the family. With that being said, let's get back to the video. First scuffle of camp, Nate Adkins and Duro Nchami got tangled up, went after it, ended up being separated, and that ended up being the final play of the period because they got broken up and whatnot, but wasn't too big of a scuffle. But once the pads come on, you know, it's going to start getting a little bit hectic, right? We saw Audric. He laid the wood on linebacker, really good in a run drill so far, but also showcasing the physicality, and that's really good for pass pro. Need him to be someone that can protect the quarterback, dropping back in the pocket, adding just another guy, another layer to that offensive line as a running back. That is huge, right? The pass pro is massive when it comes to an offense, and I think Audric is a guy that can do it. Bo Nix connected with Courtland Sutton actually deep down the field, so hopefully that right there can kind of spark his momentum, being more of a down the field thrower. But you know, overall, just been really short throws, decisive throws over the middle of the field, on the sidelines. But now gets a big one to Courtland Sutton, which is huge. We saw Audric come back once again and absolutely truck Omar Brown, a UDFA. The defense probably won the majority of the reps today, but the one thing I noticed was the running backs are just different, man. You talk about Javonte Williams, you talk about Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric. They all add a different sense of a running back style, and they've all been really good thus far. We had one-on-ones, CBs versus wide receivers, and Jaquan McMillan, like he was last year, breaking out 2 good PBUs, working in quick routes from the slot. Love to see that. Courtland Sutton did beat Pat Surtain on a fly route, but Surtain did force a couple of incompletions later on in practice. Jarrett Stidham, most productive. Bo Nix, mobile, very mobile. And then Zach Wilson did have some really good throws at practice, but for the majority of it, the defense was just good. We're just good. I mean, they always are good. Shout out to the Broncos defense. I feel like they showed flashes last year. I mean, they held 3 teams last year under 10 points, including, I believe, the Chiefs, the Chargers twice, held the Browns to 12, I believe. I thought the Broncos last season had some really good defensive showings last year. Obviously, some bad ones as well, giving up 70 to Miami. But that's going to come, right? You're going to have a game like that. Maybe not 70, but 40, 50 points. You're going to give it up every once in a while. But it's those games that teach you just to continue to work, continue to get better. So I think that is a positive sign. And the offense is starting to get better and better, and that is expected. Through time, you want these guys to get better, and they are. Jalen Allen had a big sack. Lil Jordan Humphrey had a big catch. Javonte and Audric had big-time carries on, one of their runs. We saw Sutton and Stidham connect. We saw Samaje Perine with a nice run. Tyler Batty had a big-time run. But overall, a good practice here today for the Broncos. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Join the family. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. And I'll see you guys for tomorrow's Denver Broncos update. Peace.